This is a video for one of my subscribers called Baron79 who's going to be playing John Proctor in their school production. This user asked some very interesting questions about this scene that you're watching on screen now, where Herrick and Cheever first turn up at John Proctor's house and look for the poppet. The questions were, really, how do you show emotion when Elizabeth is explaining to Mary about looking after the children when she gets taken away by Cheever, and the part where John rips up the warrant out of Cheever's hand and says, "Damn the Deputy Governor, this warrant's vengeance, and I'll not give my wife to vengeance," and when Elizabeth is being chained. Now, I think the first point we've got to make here very clear is that this is an extremely dramatic moment of the play, and previously there's been a lot of argument between the two of them. John and Elizabeth have been having this argument about Abigail Williams. Hale has turned up, and he's really kind of wound John up with these questions about his theology. He feels like he's questioning him and his Christian integrity, really, when John feels guilty enough as it is for having an affair with Abigail. At this point, Cheever turns up, and really you'll notice in the stage directions earlier that when Elizabeth is saying Abigail wants me dead, that John's trying to deny it, but he actually knows it's true. He knows that she does want him He knows that she does want Elizabeth dead, but really wants to deny it. And when Cheever turns up, his worst fears are starting to come true. And he knows that Abigail Williams is actually working vengeance on him for what he's done, and she wants Elizabeth out of the picture. So this gets him extremely frustrated. He tries to keep his temper all the way through, and when Mary Warren comes down, he really tries to keep his temper and act rationally about it, but eventually he loses it because he knows that they believe Abigail Williams, despite the fact that he knows she's lying. Because why would a good Christian girl like Abigail Williams want to lie? So really here, the build-up is up to the moment where he rips up the warrant, particularly where he completely loses his temper, and I think he rips up the warrant because he knows that his worst fears are being realised. When Elizabeth is taken outside to be chained, he naturally wants to protect his wife, so therefore he runs outside and gets pushed back in by Cheever and Herrick, and that's also a really very dramatic moment in this section of the play, because he kind of gets pushed to the floor and then throws himself at Mary Warren and says, "Despite everything that you've heard, you are coming with me to the court tomorrow. You have to," because she knows the truth as well. So when you're playing Proctor, you really need to think about those things, that Proctor's worst fears are being realised. And eventually, he just gets so frustrated with the fact that they won't believe him that it eventually culminates in him ripping up the Deputy Governor's warrant, which comes back on him a little bit later, and you know, they're kind of not happy about. So I'm just going to replay this scene so you can watch how Daniel Day-Lewis kind of builds up that frustration.
This is Mary's.
Mary, come down here. Mary!
I had my doubts, Proctor, but this is calamity. You see it, sir, 'tis a needle.
Well, what signifies a needle?
The Williams girl, Abigail. Today at the tavern, she fall to the floor with a needle stuck 2 inches into her belly, and she testified for your wife's familiar spirit pushed it in.
Mary, tell how this puppet came to be in my house.
What puppet's that, sir?
This puppet. This puppet.
Why, I made that in court and give it to Goody Proctor yesterday.
Mary, a needle's been discovered inside that puppet.
Oh, I meant no harm by it, sir.
You stuck it in yourself.
For safekeeping, I must have forgot to take it out.
Child, you're quite certain this be your natural memory. No one might be conjuring you to say this.
No, sir, I'm entirely myself. Let you ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
That girl is murder. She must be ripped out of the world.
You heard that, Herrick? Ripped out of the world?
Out of my house.
No, Proctor.
And you with them. You are a broken minister.
I promise you, if she is innocent.
If she is innocent, why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent, or Putnam, or Abigail? Are the accusers always holy now? Were they born this morning as pure as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem vengeance. The little crazy children are jangling the keys of the kingdom and common vengeance rights the law. I'll not give my wife to vengeance!
I think I must go with them. Mary, there is bread enough for the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Heed your father. Help him.
Yes, Mom.
Yes.
I'll bring you home soon.
Aye, John, bring me soon. Be good, my boys.
We'll fall like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
Joseph, let go. Let go, Joseph. I will fear nothing.
How can you do this? She has children! Don't you touch her! God will never forgive you!
You're not saying
Get your hands off her!
John, let me stand to my duty. I was killing them all!
Help the child!
You are coming with me to the court tomorrow. You will tell the court how that puppet come here and who stuck the needle in.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail. She'll charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
My wife will not die for me.
I cannot do it. They'll turn
Goodness
on me.
will not die for me, Mary. I will bring your
cannot do
guts
it.
into your mouth, but she will not die for me. You will tell the court what you know. Make your peace with it. Peace!
I can't do it. They'll turn on me.
Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs and all our old pretenses ripped away. Aye. And God's icy wind will blow.